Hello, I'm Jason Bahnsen, the President and CEO of Tempus Resources. Tempus is an ASX listed gold explorer focused on flagship project in British Columbia in Canada. We're also listed on the Venture in Canada and on the OTC. About 236 million shares out, current market cap about 14 million. And we're fully cashed up for our current drilling program with $2 million currently in the bank. The company has a very strong sort of board and management. The board is led by Alex Molyneux, who has a great track record in Australia with Galena, Argosy Minerals, a Metalla royalty company in Canada. Myself, I'm a mining engineer with about 30 years of operations, finance, and I've lived many years in Australia and elsewhere. I'm based in Vancouver, along with our geological team on the project is based here in Vancouver. As I mentioned, our flagship project is the Elizabeth Black Dome project in southern British Columbia. It's an emerging pioneer Braylorn gold camp. We have an existing mill on the project claims, and we're currently drilling the Elizabeth, which is a orogenic deposit. The target is near-term production, near-term cash flow. The existing mill, as I mentioned, is 200 ton a day. We've completed a restart study of that mill, and we're targeting about 20,000 ounces of production, pending further studies and completion of the resource. The historic resource, which is about 206,000 ounces at Elizabeth, is being upgraded, and we're planning to come out with a new resource statement, which will be NI 43-101 and JORC compliant in Q1 2023. Now, we've completed over 19,000 meters of drilling, about 70 holes since that historic resource, which was done in 2009. It's very high grade, narrow vein, vertical veins. We have multiple bonanza grade intersections with grades up to 1,572 grams per ton, or approximately 50 ounces per ton. And the vein widths tend to be between 1 and 5 meters. In the overall area, we're very close to Talisker Minerals is another comp in the area, and West Haven as well. So it's quite an active area with synergies both on the corporate and operational side. Over the next 12 months, we have several key value drivers. As you can see in this slide, we have multiple veins under development that are vertical. They're quite close to each other, about 120 meters apart. Typically, they are open at depth. And we've over this year, we've drilled 40 holes in 2022. We have assays pending on 27 of those holes, including very high-grade holes in the number 9 vein, where we reported visible gold intersections recently on hole 19, hole 20, and hole 28. We also have a visible gold intersection in hole 36, which is still assays pending, which is on the blue vein. So we have a multitude of assays, exciting assays coming over the next few months. The turnaround time on the assays tends to be about 2 months. So we'll be reporting assays well through to the end of the year. We're working on the preliminary work for updating our resource. The previous resource was in 2009, about 206,000 ounces on Elizabeth. We've now completed the QA/QC samples required for coming up with an independent resource estimate, and we anticipate that will be completed in around Q1 of this year. We're also, as you can see here, here's a picture of our mill on this slide, which is 200 ton a day. We've done metallurgical studies on that mill using Elizabeth core that show recoveries up to 95%. And it is an existing, the mill was run for 5 years from 1985 to 1991, produced about 230,000 ounces of gold. And that mill is got a gravity circuit followed by a flotation circuit. We've looked at the metallurgical recoveries using Elizabeth core, and we've also done a detailed engineering study of the cost, restart costs, the capital and operating costs to restart that mill. And we'll be releasing that, the results of that study once we have updated the JORC NI 43-101 compliant resource. And, you know, I think we have a very attractive valuation compared to our peers, and encourage people to look at Talisker Resources, look at Westhaven. The tickers are shown here that are substantially higher sort of valuations than Tempus currently is right now. I think part of that is getting the story out into the North American market and the Australian market, and just so I think there's a potential opportunity there as well to capture value. So it should be a very exciting period over the next 12 months with many milestone events that we think will drive value for the Tempus story.